Basketball fans, welcome into the half hour of power that is the Hangout, Canada's home for talking hoops, and the playoffs are raging on. Injuries are piling up, and we got to dissect it all. And of course, we have a very special cast of characters joining us on the couches to break it all down. Up first, another American who's transported himself north of the border, so he is the North now, the head coach of Orangeville Prep Academy. Is it Orangeville Prep Academy?
Academy is perfect. That's
Okay, cool. Coach Larry Blunt, thank you for joining us. Now, quickly, if you just look at the monitor, we have a little piece of information that we want to share with you. I don't know if you've seen this footage before, but this is a very special moment in the Toronto Raptors game. Did you propose to Morgan at a Raptors game? Is this true?
Guilty.
Guilty? How was the experience? You said yes, right?
She did.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that. That could have gone the wrong way for you.
That would have been all bad.
But it worked out. And Morgan's actually here, so I'm going to wave to Morgan as she's in the crowd. What up, Morgan? And our next guest, the face of the 2016 Givenchy campaign, Noah Kone. He is also a brand manager. Noah, what up? You enjoying the playoffs?
Loving it so far, man. It's been a good run. And you look like page 2 out of the Roots catalog, too.
Okay.
I just want to say that right now.
Page
3.
Page 3.
Four.
You know, whatever.
Bag of the catalog.
You shut up. I was going to big up your Blazers, but no love for Portland because that is where you're from. That's
I'll
where
give
you
you
claim
love
is
for
home.
them.
Right on, man.
All right, and then Randy Urban. All right, so let's just jump right into it, guys. On today's show, we got to talk about, of course, the Raptors and the Pacers. 102-99, the final score. Solomon Hill's 3 does not count. But what I want to talk about right now is comments made by Paul George, the de facto leader of the Indiana Pacers. And he said he's not about putting guys down or putting his teammates down, but individually, everybody has to bring it. We know Paul George has brought it, but he has not had a lot of help. People thought Monte Ellis would show up. Do you think he's right to call out his teammates in such a close series, Noah?
Yeah, he's got to challenge his guys. That's his responsibility. I think what he came out and said wasn't that bad. I mean, what he said to them was a lot worse. And as long as you don't have a guy coming out and not saying what he's going to say to his teammates, to the media, I don't think you have an issue. So it's his responsibility to challenge the guys.
Brad, do you co-sign the
You
challenge?
called him a leader. That's what leaders do. He didn't offend anybody. Paul George has been exactly what you want a superstar to be in this series. He's been outstanding from the floor. He's been a vocal leader. He's been a defender. I mean, this is a guy.
But does he have guys?
29 other teams want on their
Does he even have
squad.
someone on the roster that can step up to that
Yeah,
challenge?
I think
other than Monte?
George Hill can do some things when given the ball in the right spots. Monte Ellis, he struggled this year, only 13 points per game, so he hasn't been the player that we've known from him. But, Miles Turner can get it done. He doesn't have guys like, he doesn't have like a Kyle if you're talking about DeMar.
Well, the Raptors don't even have a Kyle right now, a traditional Kyle if you think about it.
But they have serviceable parts.
Okay. Can anyone stop Paul George?
No.
Nope.
He's simply just getting it done. I mean, you can just look at his efficiency and his line. I mean, he's getting it done, I think, 12 for 12 from the free throw line. I mean, if you look across the board, he's getting it done everywhere.
Yeah, but they did kind of switch things up through Norman Powell, Adam. Did you like what Norman did? Because I thought one of the things that Norman did that was really good was he got under his skin. He really got tight. There was very little space between him and PG. So do you at least like the chances Paul George has to change what he's been doing? Coach Blunt, this is you.
I think it's tight. I mean, he made the right play down the stretch a few times, but you look at it, I mean, every possession, he defended his position, like you said, and when it came down to it, he made the plays. I mean, you can just look at the game and what he did. It was pretty impressive all the way through.
Like Norm's a good defender, and he'll get under the guy, and he'll be the type of player that will body somebody up, and I think that's what you need to do against the Pacers. But Paul George is right now at that level where there's not much you can do as a defense. His shot making ability he'll stop or make him a star any more than he can be. I mean, he can shoot over everybody at that height. So
Length.
Yep.
there's only so much you can do there.
Okay, so should the Raptors continue to go small? Because one thing we saw in the fourth quarter of that game against the Pacers that they won, they went with, I think it was Terrence Ross, Kyle Lowry, Corey Joseph, Bismack Biyombo, and Norman Powell, and then they eventually subbed out Terrence for DeMar. But that's a lineup that people have talked about they had never used before. But did you like what that lineup was able to do, and you suspect or expect them to kind of utilize that a little earlier in the game, Noah?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Pacers is they play small because they only play one forward or one center, but they're not really that small. Like, their guards are big.
Yes,
so, like, it's a little deceptive, like, how you match up with them sometimes. So you got to be careful. But I think when the Raptors switched up, it worked for that game. But I think they should continue to play with lineups and just trying to keep doing. I think Jonas is the answer, to be honest. So
really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't see why he's had a double-double the whole series. It's got to start and end with him. He's the only thing that the Raptors have that Pacers don't. Yeah. So I understand matching up when Paul George goes to the 4. more because you want more athletic guys guarding him.
Yep.
But to go small, I don't know.
Because the transition was they went with Bismack so they could switch everything at the end of the game. So, Coach Blunt, are you more of a small ball guy with Biz, or do you like the feed it to your big superstar in Jonas Valanciunas?
I like the small ball approach. I mean, you look at the Raptors' success, the games they played in the 100s, and the pace was 105, 110 points. They had a lot of success. They went when they're playing with the four, traditional 3 guards, 2 bigs. I think the pace slowed down, and the 2 losses, if you look at it, I thought it was interesting.
As a coach, do you like going small in the new style of basketball?
I love small ball. I mean, you look at what the Warriors have been able to do, and they move it, and multiple guys can shoot it. You look at the Raptors scoring being spread out. I love the small ball.
I think it's a great mix of both of them, right? You go down to Jonas to get some points, and then you need that defensive stop to help you get on that run. But let's be clear about why they went on that run. Paul George sat on the bench,
Certainly.
right?
Huge coaching mistake by Coach Vogel, but he did play 41 minutes in that game, and he looked tired.
Right. Okay. But and Eric Koreen said this, a great writer. He said, why not start him for the fourth quarter, and then you probably build up a 20-point lead. He can rest the last 4 minutes.
Wow.
Right.
You got no faith in the Raptors.
No. Well, I mean, the way he was playing, they were up 13, 15. I mean, there was no stopping him at that point, and the only thing that stopped him was sitting on the bench.
Okay, cool. So in Game 6, which DeMar DeRozan do we see? The one we saw through Games 1 through 4, or do we see Game 5 DeMar DeRozan? Randy, I'll start with you.
I think you see what you saw in Game 4.
In Game 4.
Which was the last? No, Game 5.
Game 5. He 11 of 12 from the free throw
Yeah.
line, though, but you can't account for what the rest will do.
I think that he's playing a little more free now. He started the first game in Indiana playing well. He made his first 3 shots. I think you're going to see a confident bunch. I think you're going to see a confident DeMar DeRozan. I mean, he looked as good as he has all season, most of that game, last game.
Does DeMar continue to rebound quickly before we go to break?
Yeah, DeMar will be back. He's ready to rock.
Coach?
No pressure. I think he puts a big-time performance on. That win here was huge.
Okay, all right. Well, we got a lot of DeMar DeRozan fans here on the Hangout. Still more to come. We got to break down the rest of the playoffs. Also, got to shout out your boy Drake. You ain't know? Views from the 6 about to drop, and guess what? The kid got views. Look at him taking it from the sideline. Strong clap, Drake. Shouts out to you. The 6 God is watching. Hangout!